Okay, we're going to begin lying on our backs in Shavasana. Let your body drop down. Feel gravity moving through you. Notice the field of sensation. Bring your breath into the foreground of awareness. Let's begin our movement inquiry by planting the feet and interlacing the hands behind the head at the bottom of the skull. Spinal undulation. Inhaling, press the arm bones down into the floor, find a little back bend. And then exhale, curl up, squeeze the elbows together, peel the shoulder blades up off the ground. Follow your breath. Hips stay down. Couple more times. Next time the head and the arms come down, let them be passive, let them be heavy. And come into our side scrub. So head and hands slide along the floor into a side bend. The end result is one elbow pointing pretty much overhead and the other sliding down toward the same side hip. And then slide back to center and take it over to the other side. Might feel nice to pause at the end range for a moment. You could turn your head to look toward the overhead reaching elbow. You could do the movement on the inhale. Whatever elbow is reaching overhead, you could extend the same side knee in the opposite direction. So that side of the hip, that side of the pelvis might lift a little bit. The foot is down and we're driving the knee forward. It's not really a big movement. As if there was a button in front of your knee and just that slight lunge forward with the knee, you could tap the button. let's go about one more round each side. And then gradually make your way back to center. Let's keep the feet planted. Keep your hands at the base of the skull. Slide your feet a little away from you if they're close to the sitting bones so that the knee angle is more open and the feet aren't right beneath the knees. They're a bit further away from you. And let's find neutral pelvis here. So that triangle table where the pubic bone and the two frontal hip points are all level. And you'll have a little bit of a space between the lower spine and the floor. See if you can kind of walk the upper spine a little away from the lower spine. Connect each toe to the ground. Connect the heels, the balls of the feet, the baby toe mounds. Take a breath in here, and then keep the neutral pelvis this time as you curl up. So we're not pressing the back flat into the ground. We're going to take a little small diagonal, just a little bit over toward one hip, and then over toward the other hip. Keep an eye on your pelvis so the pubic bone isn't curling up. Keep lifting shoulder blades off the ground. See if when you go from one side to the other, you can draw like a little arc up toward the ceiling. So to the side and then up and over. Let's go about one more time each side. And then back to center and lower the head down. Bring the arms down. Slide the legs straight. Shavasana. Plant your left foot. Bring your right knee in so you can connect it to your left hand. So left foot is on the ground, right leg is up, right knee and left hand are connected. And then bring your hand behind your head, right hand behind the head at the base of the skull. So here too, we'll try to keep our neutral pelvis. So we have that little lumbar curve intact. Take a breath in. And then exhale, curl up toward right knee. The knee can just stay where it is. You're not actually going to get there with the elbow. Inhale, and come back down. Exhale, bring the elbow in toward the right knee. A few more times. See if you can press the sacrum down and draw the whole abdominal wall toward the back body. Last one. And then release the head down, release the right foot down. On the second side, right foot stays on the ground with the knee bent. Bring your left knee in so you can connect the right hand to it. And bring your left hand to the base of your skull. So right foot is on the ground, right hand and left knee are connected, and we have neutral pelvis. We have that triangle table. Take a breath in and then exhale. Bring the left elbow in toward the left knee as you peel the upper back off the floor. Inhaling down, exhaling up. Couple more times. Eventually bring the head down, bring the foot down, slide the legs straight, bring your arms down by your sides, returning to Shavasana. Please roll to lie on your belly. Let's bring the right leg into Baddha Konasana, tree pose shape. And then lift the upper body so you can walk it over to the right. So we're doing side bend here to the right. You can keep your hands stacked. Right elbow closer to right knee. Bring your cheek down or your forehead. Tuck your left toes under. Push through the left heel. Maybe slide the right knee a little bit away from you. Relax the shoulders so we're not propped up at all. You can squeeze left glute. See if you can kind of walk a tiny bit more length out of the left side of the abdominals. Okay, and then we'll keep the lower body as it is and take a side bend, your upper body to the left, so away from the bent knee. You could probably relax left foot if you want. See if you can walk a little more length out of the right side of the abdominals. Head is down. Bring the upper body back to center. Slide your right leg straight back behind you. Second side, left leg in tree pose, essentially. Lift your upper body a little bit so you can walk it to the left. So we're side bending to the left toward the bent knee. Tuck right toes under. Push through right heel. Squeeze right glute. See if you can find a little bit more length in the right side of the abdominals. And then head is down, shoulders are relaxed. Keep the legs as they are. Just walk the upper body to the right. So now we've got a side bend to the right. Walk a little bit more length into the, or out of the left side of the abdominals. Bring the upper body back to center. Slide the left leg back behind you, pausing here in prone shavasana. From here, roll onto your side. Let's roll onto left side. And we'll start with straight legs and let's just lift a little bit the underside. So lift your left side. See if you can move the left ribs a little further away from the left side of the hips. It's a little side body lengthening. Okay, and then from there, arms alongside the ears, take hold of your top wrist, take right wrist in left hand, tug, stretch through the legs. Be sure the head's not forward of the rest of the spine. Release the wrist. You can just rest your right hand in front of you. And then we've got left arm straight. And we're just going to kind of roll a little bit on the side of the head toward the forehead and then back. So the head kind of comes off of the platform of the arm and then back onto it. Don't overthink or over technique this one. Just getting a little bit of, I mean, it's not really massage, but a little more surface connection of head to arm. And then let the head stay centered on top of the arm. Let's bend the knees. So you can draw your knees in toward your chest. And once again, see if you can elongate that left side of the torso a little bit more away from the hips. So we get a little lift, a little lengthening, and then release it down. You could be propped up on your hand, on your left hand, head on hand if you prefer, or have the elbow bent to support the head, as long as the head is on something. Okay, so knees are in line with the hips. They could be tucked in a little bit more, but this would be good. And then we keep the knees together. Lift your top foot off of your bottom leg. So knees stay together. We just lift the foot and then lower it down. We're going to do that a number of times. Lifting the foot, internal rotation. One more time. And then let the legs rest where they are. And bring your right arm up around your head so you can hold the left side of your head with your right hand. So I had to start on the left side. It's just a little complicated. So your head is in the cradle of your right hand. The arm's kind of wrapped around it. And now head is pretty much heavy here. We use the right hand to lift the head away from the floor, away from the arm, and then bring it back down. Try that a few more times. And then we'll combine this movement with the leg movement. So it's like the elbow and the foot are reaching toward each other. And lifting and lowering the foot and the head. Yeah, the right side is shortening. Okay, and then the next time you lower down, just roll onto the other side. We'll start with straight arms, straight legs. Be sure your head's not forward of the rest of your spine. Actually, what we started with was lengthening this underside. So get a little lift here and see if you can move the ribs, the right side of the rib cage a little further away from the right hip. Then head down, hold the top wrist, tug and stretch through the legs. Release the wrist, bend the knees till they're at hip height, in line with the hips. And then once again, see if you can walk the right side of the ribs a little further away from the right hip. You can keep your head propped up on your hand or have it on your arm somehow. Knees stay together. Lift your top foot off of the bottom one and then lower it back down. Repeat. Notice the side's probably different. One more time. And then let the legs rest. Bring your top arm around your head so you can hold this right side of your head with your left hand. Head is relatively heavy. Lift the head with the hand and lower it down. Let's put this together with the lift of the foot. It's like the knee and it's like the foot and the elbow are kind of reaching toward each other. There's a shortening happening in the left waist. Maybe sensation through the neck. Couple more times. And then at the end of that one, you can release onto your back again into Shavasana. Let's plant the feet hip width apart. Take the arms into cactus. With your inhalation, find a little back bend, make a gap between the lower spine and the floor. And then exhale, press the lower spine into the floor. Let's do that a few times. And let's include a cranial nod. So when you find your back bend in your lower spine, move your chin toward your chest. And when you press the spine into the floor, lift the chin away from the chest. The head's not lifting up. That might limit your range of motion, and that's okay. Come back to neutral spine, neutral neck, and triangle table. So neutral pelvis once again. Slide your feet a little further away from you so they're not directly under the knees. If you've got socks on and you're on a blanket or a carpet and you're slippy, you might want a little bit more stick of your feet. We're just going to come up into a very low bridge, but we're going to maintain this neutral pelvis. So you can even use your hands. I'm just going to lift like a fist width away from the ground. And then right away, check back in. See if your pubic bone tilted up, kind of tilted away. So it's at the same height of these frontal pelvic points. Now we really want to be grounded through the feet. We're in a low bridge. Squeeze your glutes. Draw in and up with the pelvic floor, Mula Bandha, and draw the abdominals back. Draw the abdominals in toward your back. Breathing here. Lots of glute engagement. If you're feeling it more in the hamstrings, you can rock to the heels so the rest of the feet come up off the ground. That's going to bring it a little bit more into the glutes. Breathing. Breathing more into the back. Couple more breaths. Glutes, glutes, glutes. And then roll through the spine to come down. So you lose neutral pelvis in that process. And then let's just slide the legs out straight for a moment to rest. Okay, let's plant the right foot. Really spicing it up today. Interlace the hands underneath the head at the base of the skull. We're going to do a side scrub, and then also we're going to curl up here. So we'll side bend to the right. Right foot is planted. Side bend to the right. Right elbow sliding toward right hip. And then just come back to center. Let's just do that part a couple times. Side bending to the right. And then we'll add on here. So we'll inhale, side bend to the right. Exhale, curl up. Squeeze the elbows toward your right hip. Inhale, or however many breaths you need. Come to center, side bend to the right. See if you can really bring your left elbow toward your right hip. Elbows squeeze together, right elbow into. Find your rhythm here. Hands are right at the bottom of the skull. Couple more times. Feel that deep crunching action through the right side. And then back to center. And slide the right leg straight. Plant the left foot. Hands are at the bottom of the skull. And first couple times, we'll just side bend to the left. Left foot is planted. Left elbow sliding down toward left foot. And then back to center. You can work with the breath however you like. I like to inhale to side bend. And now we'll exhale, curling up, elbows toward left hip. Take your time here, lowering through center, then side bending. Try not to cut the corners. That might mean slowing the breath down. Sip it in. Really squeeze the elbows together and really bring the right elbow toward the left hip. Couple more times. And then bring the head down. You can release all together to Shavasana. Notice what you notice. Okay, we're coming back to prone, everybody. So lie on your belly again, please. Hands stacked, elbows wide. Bring right leg into tree pose, Baddha Konasana. And this time we're going to keep the foot where it is. Slide your knee toward you. Feel the hip rise up. And then slide the knee back to where it started. The foot doesn't move. That's tricky for some folks to figure out. So just take your time and really explore, like, how can I slide my knee without moving my foot? Once you get it, it's an aha. Head is down. And then keep the knee in that further away position. We're going to do that same side bend we already did here on our belly once. So we're walking the upper body over to the right. Right elbow, right knee closer to each other. Keep the elbows wide. Bring your cheek or your forehead down. Tuck left toes under and energize, activate through left leg. I don't know about you, but as soon as I do that, I can slide my right knee a little further away from me. Usually if we tuck that right elbow in toward the body, it kind of makes the shoulder shrug up. So elbow sliding away from you so shoulder can relax down. Untuck left toes, bring the upper body back to center and straighten the right leg. Same thing, second side, left leg in tree pose shape. Foot doesn't move. Slide your knee toward you. Feel the hip rise up. Slide the knee away from you back to where it started. Head heavy. Keep the knee in that further away from you position. Walk your upper body to the left, side bend left. Tuck right toes under. Push through the heel and squeeze the right glute. Unfurl back to prone shavasana, legs straight, upper body centered. Tuck your toes under, both feet, hands to the elbows. Elbows are at least slightly, at least an inch forward of the shoulders. Press the elbows down. So you can draw the skin of the belly forward, shoulders down. Squeeze buttocks, muscles. As you lower down, we'll come onto your back again. One more spinal undulation here. Feet planted. Let's go with our neutral pelvis variation. So feet further away from you. That's going to help bring the pelvis to neutral. Find that little space between the lower spine and the floor. Walk the upper spine away. Interlace hands behind the head. Take a breath in and then exhale, curl up. Don't flatten the back into the ground. You can inhale down. Really important to squeeze the elbows together when you come up. So this can be far more active in the sense that we're squeezing the glutes, drawing up on the pelvic floor, engaging the abdominals downward toward the floor. A few more times. Keep taking a look at your pubic bone, that it's not popping up. And let's see if we can get a couple more in. Try to really lift the shoulder blades off the ground. And then you can release all together to Shavasana. What's here now? When you feel ready to move again, bend your knees, roll to your side, take your blanket off of your mat, or grab your mat if you're on carpet. And let's come into downward facing dog. Let the head hang. See if you can lift more from the lower belly versus the sitting bones. It's a slightly different way to orient the pelvis. So it's actually more posterior than anterior tilt of the pelvis. It'll help hollow the belly inward. Try not to sink into the shoulders. Push the floor away. And then without moving the feet, because now you're on stickiness, see if you can just pretend the feet would move away from each other. So moving feet away from the midline. Lower your knees down to the ground. Come down onto your forearms. Elbows directly beneath the shoulders. If you can have your hands shoulder width apart also, please do. If not, you can interlace your fingers. Push the floor away from your elbows. Feel how that lifts the shoulders away from the floor. Keep the shoulders directly over the elbows, everybody. Tuck the toes under and lift the hips up. So don't shift the hips back. Just go straight up. Knees can be bent. We're in dolphin. Head is heavy. Here too, lifting a little bit more from the lower belly. Unless you're really rounded, then you can lift more from the sitting bones. So see the difference? Rather than just taking my word for it, so you can feel the difference. Maybe you don't feel the difference, that's okay too. Couple more breaths. Keeping the shoulders over the elbows. It's hard, hard, hard. And then lower the knees down. Let's come into child's pose. Rising back up, just a touch downward facing dog. And then walk your feet forward, little steps. You can sweep the arms to rise. And then arms down. Pausing here in Tadasana, mountain pose. Kind of orienting to standing. Okay, we're going to take a wide stance, Prasarita stance. And then let's fold just halfway. So hands to the earth. You can use blocks if you're rounding a lot to get hands to the ground. And then walk your hands over toward right foot. If you can take hold of the ankle, cool. If not, cool. Grab where you can. Turn the belly more toward the thigh and fold over the leg. Come back through to center, half mast. Walk the hands over to left leg or whatever your second side is. Grab what you can, ankle or higher up the leg. Turn the belly to face the thigh, and then fold in a bit more. Coming back to center. Let's stretch the arms forward. Can either be on tippy fingers or hands shoulder width apart, kind of pushing the floor away. Head heavy. Breathe into your back. And then walk your hands back so they're beneath your shoulders. From here, either heel toe your feet in first or hands to the hips, rise up, then heel toe feet in. We'll come back, take your time to the top of the mat in mountain pose, Tadasana. If you have blocks handy, please grab them. Sorry, I didn't mention that earlier. Just have them available. Yeah, we're not going to use them immediately, but pretty soon. Inhale, reach up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Plant your hands, walk back, plank pose, upper push-up position. Fingers are spread, root through each and every knuckle, root through each finger. Dial your hands slightly outward without moving them. That's the into the mat, kind of ground force reaction. Push the floor away a ton, and then just slightly soften the chest. Squeeze the glutes. Energy through the heels. You can draw the abdominals toward the back. Gaze is down. Lower your knees down to the ground. And then I'm going to try using the blocks in child's pose. I know it sounds kind of weird, might feel kind of weird. So we'll do blocks high setting, hips toward the heels, hands on the blocks. So it's kind of like a little elevated child's. If you had a third block or a bolster or even blanket, that would be good to support the head because it's not going to get down there with the hands up there. So differently supported child. If you're feeling this as too much in the shoulders, you could try taking the hands and thus the blocks a bit wider than shoulder width. Breathe into the back ribs. You can also go lower setting on the blocks if it's too much for the shoulders. And carefully rising up. And set the blocks aside. If you have a bolster, here's where we'll use it. We're doing side plank, so if you don't have a bolster, you can do a different side plank variation. So if you are using the bolster, it's going to go crosswise. And we're placing the hip on the bolster, not the waist, the hip. Okay, yeah, let's prop up on forearms. So elbow beneath shoulder, at least initially here. And we're bringing this shoulder blade into the body rather than kind of collapsing chest forward, shoulder back, shoulder in and down, and chest lifted. Okay, if it's too much, you can go where we're going in a moment, which is head down on your bottom arm. Straight if you can. You can add a pillow or something if you need a little extra support. So legs are straight here and no rotation in the leg. We're lifting the top leg off the bottom leg. So don't turn the toes up. Don't externally rotate. You might have to, it almost feels probably like internal rotation to get the toes to point forward. And take a look and make sure that your hips are stacked. It's probably pretty common that this top hip is drifting back relative to the bottom hip. So hips stacked, drive through the floor with your elbow, lifting the leg, however much you're able comfortably or slightly uncomfortably with the toes pointing forward. Be sure your head's not forward. Right, so we're working this, it's plank, but it's on our side, so it's a long line of energy. And then you can also be active with the bottom leg, pressing the outer edge of the foot into the ground and engaging the glute. So quite a bit of engagement, even though we're supported. Maybe take the top arm alongside the ear. And so then maybe the top leg is a little bit less about lifting and a little bit more about lengthening. You can even get a little rainbow action. So this is a good way to strengthen the shoulder and get used to the shape of side plank without having to commit to the whole thing, right? So we got the bolster support. And then you can lower the foot down and let's slide the bottom arm straight and bring the head down. And then we'll take this top arm alongside the ear. You can traction with a little tug on the wrist if you like. We're still active through the legs, stretch, stretch. See if you can walk. We've been doing this quite a bit, yeah? So we walk this underside of the rib cage a little bit more away from the hip and the bolster. See if you can let or invite this bottom side of the rib basket to drop down a little bit. Okay, and then gently release and switch sides. Might have to fluff up your bolster. I just kind of smushed mine. To be sure, your hip is on the bolster, not your waist, everybody. That's important. Legs are straight. And if you're able, we're starting with the elbow beneath the shoulder. Check out, hips are stacked. Nope, they weren't. You just might have to bring that top hip forward a little bit to stack the hips. So this shoulder blade, the supporting shoulder blade, is not poking back, it's drawing in and down. Make sure your head's not forward. And then let's lift this top leg with no rotation. Make sure the toes are pointing forward. Just gotta keep checking yourself. We fall into our habits. We're not paying attention. Keep pressing the floor away with the elbow. Maybe stretching top arm alongside the ear. And then maybe you lower the top leg a little bit so it's more of a reach than a lift. We're still lifting up out of this bottom shoulder, not sinking into it. Super important. Squeezing the glutes is a good idea. Gonna help the back. And then lower the foot down. So you can elongate the ribs away from the hip. Slide the bottom arm straight for your head to rest. Wow, what a difference in the two sides. For me, maybe taking hold of that top wrist, traction, stay active, reaching through the legs. Okay, and then we'll release and come off the bolster and set it aside. And coming back to the midline with a down dog with the block between the thighs. Squeeze the block from the outer thighs inward. Ease the knees down to the ground. Remove the block. Back to child's pose once again. Okay, whenever you're ready, you can make your way into Shavasana. Slightly shorter asana sequence today. We'll do a body scan, so slightly longer, excuse me, Shavasana today. So get comfortable, get warm. If there's any last stretch or movement your body is calling out for, give that to yourself. Okay, and then once you settle into stillness, I'm just going to bring awareness to different parts of the body without engaging, without moving, without trying to make anything happen. You might not be able to feel every body part, particularly when we get down to the toes sometimes. There's a little lack of awareness there. So just know that that's normal. You're not doing anything wrong. You might fall asleep, then you need sleep, you need rest. So no wrong experience to have. Begin by noticing the face, the jaw, the roof of the mouth, underneath the tongue, teeth, gums, tongue, inside of right cheek, inside of left cheek. Sense taste in your mouth. And feel all the parts of your mouth all together as a whole, the entire mouth. Notice your nose, the length of the nose, nostrils, right nostril, left nostril, breath passing through the nostrils. Aware of your sense of smell. Feel your nose. Notice your ears, backs of the ears, wrinkles and folds of the ears, ear canals, inner ears. Feel your ears hearing, receiving sound. Feel your ears. Notice your eyes, eyebrows, eyelids, eyelashes, surface of the eyes, center of the eyes, backs of the eyes, behind the eyes. Feel your eyes. Third eye, space between the eyebrows, forehead, crown of the head, whole head, neck, throat, pit of the throat, the left shoulder, upper arm, elbow, forearm, wrist, palm of the left hand, back of the hand, the left hand thumb, first finger, second finger, third finger, fourth finger. Feel the whole left hand radiant with life. Left wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, left shoulder, pit of the throat, right shoulder, upper arm, elbow, forearm, right wrist, palm, back of the hand, right hand thumb, first finger, second finger, third finger, fourth finger. Feel the whole right hand alive with energy. Right wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, right shoulder, pit of the throat, the chest, belly, shoulder blades, between the shoulder blades, ribs on the back, low back, buttocks, root center between the sitting bones, left hip, left thigh, knee, lower leg, left ankle, heel, sole, top of the left foot, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe. Feel the whole left leg from the tips of the toes all the way up to the hip. Root center between the sitting bones. Now notice right hip, right thigh, knee, lower leg, right ankle, heel, sole, top of the right foot, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe. Feel the whole right leg from the tips of the toes all the way up to the hip. Root center between the sitting bones. Navel center. Solar plexus. Heart center. Throat center. Mouth. Third eye between the eyebrows. And crown of the head. Feel the entire right side of your body. Feel the entire left side of your body. Feel the back body facing the earth. Feel front body facing the sky. Hold in your awareness, right arm and left leg together. Right arm and left leg. And now hold in your awareness, left arm and right leg together. Left arm and right leg. Feel the whole body. Whole body. Global awareness of the body. Now notice the breath. Notice your natural breath as it moves through you. Feel the touch of breath at the tip of the nose. Feel breath passing through the nostrils. Notice the brush of breath in the back of the throat. Feel breath in the chest. Notice how the belly rises and falls with the breath. And now gradually and gently invite your breath to deepen. And begin to move your fingers and your toes. And gradually making larger movements until you eventually arrive in a seat. Let's bring hands, palms together at heart center and make a little bow. Take a breath in. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Thank you. Namaste.